Hello and welcome to Ketter Farms. We're back with another episode of Edgewater, Saskatchewan, and I realized that we forgot about one of the things that I said I was going to do towards the end of harvest here, which is specifically, we've got all of these bits of flax everywhere that we need to go and pick up from the edges of the field, and I don't know if it's a lot, but it seemed like enough that we wanted to jump in here and give it a shot, see how much there is. It's spread across both halves of this field one. I'm not going to be too worried about the straw that might come out of it, if any. I don't even think I've got the straw swath turned on at the moment. We're just going to be trying to pick up all of the crop, and I don't think we've even grown any flax this year, so I don't have a bin or anything to put it in. We're just going to take whatever we get and sell it at the nearest elevator. But looking at this, I mean, I've already gotten 4 bushels of flax just from a little tiny pile here at the beginning. And if I look over here on the other field, you can see we've got just a lot of piles all the way around the outside of this field. So let's go and pick those up real quick and see how many bushels we can come up with. So after just one round across the field here, we've already got almost 37 bushels of flax, which is quite significant, I'd say. Let me just see if I can pick that up. No, that's the straw. All right, so that's one half of this field with a good enough result that I feel like it was worth our time. Let's run over here to the other field, or the other half of this field, I guess I should say, and we'll do the same, see how much total we can get out of both of these fields. Alright, we have finished picking up all of the flax off of these 2 fields. There's a few little spots that I'm pretty sure are the canola on the field, not the flax, so I don't want to risk deleting what I've got in the hopper here. Like all this, I think, is actually just a little bit of canola. That's alright. We've got 86 bushels of flax here, which is actually quite good. We're going to have to figure out how to take this up to a store and sell it here. So I'm going to go ahead and just get the pipe out here while we're running, and then we have to figure out how to get the semi-trailers unloaded here. I've got an idea. So last time someone suggested that I just put it in the seeder and dump everything out of the seeder. That doesn't actually work. I haven't found a way to get the dry fertilizer out of the air cart on the seeder. For whatever reason, that's just not been working. But now that we've got the dry fertilizer spreader here, I think what I can do is empty out into that, and I'm pretty sure that'll allow me to drop into pallets. So I'm going to grab this auger, and we're going to put this under this drive-through and see if we can get the fertilizer out of our trailer finally and into our dry box spreader. Now, I don't have a lot of room over here the way it's set up, and rather than move the drive over, I'm going to put this up here like that. Oh, it looks like I had some actually in there already. That's probably a good thing then that I'm doing this. That would have caused some problems later on when I tried to empty it out or use it for another crop. So let's get this out. This thing is rather tall though. I wonder if I'm going to have to move that auger up. Nope, we should be good to go. Here we go. Look at that. So I can get all of the dry fertilizer out of this thing and into the hopper. Look, we had 6.5 yards of solid fertilizer in the auger. That's quite excessive. I'm so glad we're doing this. And all I should have to do is run this over here and dump it in, and we'll have the rest of that out. In fact, I might even just leave the fertilizer. Well, we'll see if we can dump it to pallets. I'm going to need it for the planter. I'm sure as the rest of the season goes on here for planting, we used quite a bit of it on that wheat field. And I'm sure our other crops like canola are going to use some nitrogen. I don't believe any of our peas or lentils will need anything though. So it's kind of one of those trade-offs. I'm used to growing a lot of corn, and these other crop types have thrown me for a loop. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is it legumes? All right, all emptied out. I'm gonna just pull up and around on this field edge because I didn't really think through how we drove in there. Well, that's all right. Generally, I like to stay off of the fields when I'm not harvesting with especially big trucks and stuff, but sometimes it just can't be helped. Since we do have to take that flax up somewhere, even though it's only like 80 bushels, I'm going to disconnect this pup trailer. And we'll go ahead and just pull this right up here under the combine auger. See if we can get everything unloaded. And with that all emptied out, I might as well put it right back into our shed here. Make sure that auger gets in before then. We don't need any incidences with it, I say as I bump the header into the door. And this is where we see if I can indeed dump the lime out of this box, like so. That's a lot of pallets of lime. Or not even lime, that's a lot of pallets of dry fertilizer. That's all right. We've got a skid loader and a lot of storage room in the shed here. I am gonna put this fertilizer spreader in here, and we'll go ahead and grab the Bobcat, and I'm gonna get all of those pallets loaded up into the shed here. We have finally got all of these pallets into the shed here. Honestly, the in-cab mode worked quite a bit better here for loading up pallets with the Bobcat here. I feel like I had a good view of things, and yeah, it actually went a lot smoother than it usually does, so that was unexpected. I'm gonna leave the forks on here. I'm sure we're gonna need those when we get around to moving those pallets around and doing something with them. We are going to be starting to unload crops here at some point, but I think before we get into all that, I want to make sure we've got the semi in a good spot. I'm going to look at the menu here for commodity prices. If I just take a quick look at flax, our high point for flax does happen to be in that January window, which puts it kind of in the same spot over here alongside canola. It looks like flax goes upwards of $70 a bushel. We might hang on to it here for a little bit as I move time forward, just until we can deliver both the little bit of flax I've got in the front hopper now, as well as the load of canola or something, just to save ourselves a trip up to the elevator practically empty. And also because that means that we'll be getting a better price for it. I know it's only 82 bushel, but we might as well just hang on to it. Now, what I wish I'd done is put the flax in that pup trailer because it's smaller. But I'm not going to waste time moving around a bunch of grains right now, especially when I don't have that much canola to begin with. We'll just deal with it for now. And I didn't do a great job of lining that trailer hitch up, so let's see if we can fix that. So with all of that out of the way, I think we're at a point now where really the only thing left to do is going to be to move time forward. We just don't have a whole lot else going on here on the farm. I'm going to get this thing all folded back up here so that hopefully we can get it moved out here. I'm going to rotate this around so that we can pull it back into position. Actually, we don't need this for, unloading the bins. All I really need is this right here. And we're going to be unloading just the canola here in the winter. So I want to get all of this stuff into position before the snow comes, because the snow is no joke on this map. And then once I've got this into position, we're really going to be set to move the time forward, I think. I think we might as well also just take this big Westfield down. We're going to roll it back here alongside the shed, get her out of the way, so I'm not constantly fighting with it as we're trying to get around here and load, unload these bins. Now, the wonderful thing with auto drive is it's going to be really easy to adjust our course to get under the bin here, hopefully, so we won't have to create a bunch of new courses. I think I'm just going to modify the courses we've got in the yard here every time. And yeah, I think we're good to go. Now, before we move time forward to winter, I'm going to go ahead and get the snow blade all attached to the Bobcat here, just in case we get a huge amount of snow overnight and we need to be able to dig things out. That should work out for us pretty well here. We'll get everything all closed up for the season. I'm feeling pretty good about all this. We do have the snow blower over there that I might also need to get my hands on. So I'm going to do a little bit of the old equipment shuffle here so I can get the white out of the back of the shed here. I'm kind of hoping I can squeeze it in here between the Versatile and the Combine. We'll see if I left myself enough room. I don't want to have to fire up every piece of equipment I own today. Oh, would you look at that? Just enough room to squeeze around everything here. Not bad, not bad. So we'll just go ahead and grab this guy right here. Get all the hoses and PTO connected. Good deal, good deal. And we should be able to just park this right back into this other shed here. All ready to go. All right, now I think we're finally ready to move forward into another season. So we've moved the time forward here to the middle of December, and I think we're not going to get any better prices for our crops here. So I'm going to go ahead and get the semi started up here. We're going to fill up a back hopper here with some canola, and I think I'm actually going to be brave. We're going to try and leverage the train, because the train prices are quite a bit better, and if I sell all of my crops at once via the train, I think we can do just a little bit better here. And we've got a fair amount of canola, not a ton, but a fair amount. So let's go ahead and get this loaded up, and we'll head down here and figure out where the point is to lease the train. We have gone a little bit into the negative as I've moved time forward. That's the vehicle lease that we've got. So let me come in here. We're going to take out a little bit more of a loan just so I've got some money here to get the train leased. And I'm expecting once we deliver all of this canola and sell it, that we'll be sitting pretty good. We'll have a lot more money available to us, and we'll be able to pay down some of that loan or maybe even buy off that lease. I'm not sure. We've got to figure out what we want to do. I do have lease to own on, though, so the leasing prices are more like down payments towards owning that piece of equipment. I probably could have just taken out the loan and bought it outright. I don't know that the lease to own is really helping us out a whole lot right now, but we've done what we've done. I'm actually not sure where the station is to dump into the train. So once I get around this curve, we're gonna have to stop and take a look at the map for a second and figure out exactly where we're going. If I'm not mistaken, the rent the train pieces are here, but I'm not seeing the tipping stations. Is this it? No, that can't be it. Grain Pool East. I think this is where I'm going. Although, does that mean that there's a Grain Pool West somewhere? I don't think so. I think this is the one that we want to get into. We're going to go for it. I've blew past the main road entrance, but that's all right. We're going to come down the back road here and cut over to the town. And we're getting going here just before the snow really starts to pile up. We didn't really have to clean anything up out of the yard yet. However, it looks like if this snow keeps up, we could get buried pretty quickly here. I remember from last season, it piles up pretty deep here over the winter months. Oh, and there's a train right now. I wish I'd run over and hit that rent button before it came through. Oh well, by the time we get over there, it'll probably be cycling back around. We will have to wait for it to come back to town once we notify the train manager that we want to use the train. Now, it looks like that dump point is on the other side of the tracks here. So what I'm going to do is run across the road here. We're going to turn our four-ways on because I'm going to stop real quick. And I've got to come out here and push a button, I think, to let them know. Yes, I see you. Rent for $1,000 an hour. Ooh, that's a lot of money. But I do have something like 3,000 bushels of canola. And at an $8 difference, 3,000, that's going to be worth it. So let's rent the train. Let's slow time down to real time here. And we've got some really impatient people here behind us, so I'll go ahead and get out of the way. I know. And how do I get over there to dump into the train is the question. I want to say it's the closer of the 2 points here, so if I circle around here, I have to believe that it's this one here to dump into the train. Yeah, I'm not getting any money. That means we're dumping into storage. Good deal. Now, I shouldn't have rented the train until I had all my crops up here in the storage at the elevator, just because, well, we're going to be paying $1,000 an hour if I don't get all of our crops up here before the time runs out. We're going to be paying an extra $1,000, which is not ideal. Is the train going to stop? It is gonna stop. Look at that. All right. Let's see if I can hop into the train. I've got to back it off of the road so I can get my vehicle back up to the farm here. As long as I'm in here, I'm going to go see if I can go ahead and put the flax in the front container here, just to make sure that I can load things up. Good deal. And then I should be able to pull forward here. And this will be the one that we're going to be putting whatchamacallit, canola into. There we go. Let's see how much canola is going to fit in here. It looks like quite a bit. Good deal. And we've got quite a few carts left available to us, so that's going to work. Let me go ahead and jump back into the semi that I left in the middle of the road. Oh my goodness, the railroad crossing is still all blocked off here, even though I've backed the train up quite a bit, so we'll have to sneak our way through this. And I'm going to get back up to the farm here real quick, and we'll get all this canola brought up here. I don't know if I'm going to get it all back up in a single load. It might take us 2 trips, but we'll check back in here in a minute when we've got all of our canola up at the elevator and into the train. All right, I am back up here with our last load of canola. We've got it all put into the silos here. So let's go ahead and see if I can sneak up here and get on this train. Not going to squeeze in that way. There we go. We're in the train. We've got to have the train running in order to fill it up. Interesting. Oh, no, I'm overloading. That's the wrong way to go. Let's fill it up. That would explain a few things. And we have fully filled up one whole train car, so I'm going to go ahead and close up this hopper. We're going to move back to the next hopper. And let's see if we can get some canola in here. There we go. We're all filled up now on the canola, so all we've got to do is let all of this traffic go that we've been holding up for the last half hour. It feels like real life now. And we'll go ahead and run this train right off the map and sell all of these crops and see what kind of position that puts us in. We're at $1 short of 9,000 here, so it'll be easy math to figure out how much money we've made off of selling these crops off. And the train will now drive to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and we'll return on the other side. Do you want the train to sell the loaded goods? Yes. Ooh, not too shabby. Almost $200,000 just on the harvest income, plus our environmental bonus. We're doing pretty good. And if I come over here, I don't need to rent the train. So I think we're good. I think as soon as I send it off that we're no longer renting the train, I am going to run back over to the place that we had rented it before, just to make sure that that's the case. Yeah, it looks like we're all good to go here. And I'm excited. That was actually more money than I was anticipating for selling our crops. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our semi. We're going to run this back up to the farm. And I think that's going to wrap up today's episode. A little bit of an odd one. We did some odd jobs around the yard there. Got that flax picked up. And then got everything set up here so we could sell off all of our grains, which has been really successful. I'm looking forward to diving back into the spring planting season. So we've got more fields this year, and we might even pick up one more in the spring here with that 200K. We'll see, we'll see. I'm excited though because the farm is doing well. We're finally what I feel is a profitable farm. I could pay down I could pay down half of my debt with the amount that we just pulled in from the canola alone. And don't forget, we've still got peas and lentils that are going to get sold off here a little bit later in the year. We'll be thinking really hard about what crops we want to put in the spring here and go from there. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. That's all for today. Kedrick out. My goodness, the turning isn't working here.